Hey everyone out there in guitar land, Jesse here, bringing you a guitar trick today, and we're going to talk about natural harmonics. So natural harmonics, well, you know what, before I even try to describe what they sound like or how to play them, let's just listen to some examples. So now that you've heard and seen some examples of harmonics, you're probably thinking, oh yeah, I've heard that kind of thing before. So let's talk about how we play them and how we play them well. So one of the first things that we need to remember is that harmonics are not played by pushing down on the string. So for this example, we're going to try the 12th fret on the low E string, which is probably the easiest note to try to play on the guitar. And what we want to do is we're going to very, very lightly just touch on the string and pluck nice and strong, and you'll get that sound. Now, one tip to consider is that you want to actually be over the fret instead of in between the frets, like when we would normally play something. Okay, so we actually want to go a little bit past and be right over the fret, and that's going to give that nice clear sound. And then you can actually move your finger after you've played it, and you'll know you got a good one if it just rings and rings and rings. So try that on all the 12th fret strings like that. Okay, so there are some sweet spots for harmonics. You're not going to get a good harmonic out of every fret on the guitar. So some other sweet spots after the 12th fret would be the 7th fret and then the 5th fret. And again, just remember, try to go right over the metal of that fret rather than in the middle of the fret. Okay, see how, and you just kind of have to fish around a little bit and then just work on your touch. The other thing that you can try is experiment with different fingertips, because sometimes you'll get a slightly different sound. Or some just might do a better job of just being really light and feather-like on those frets. Also, just wanted to mention that you can do this same thing on bass, which is really cool. In fact, sometimes I think harmonics sound even better on bass than on guitar sometimes because they're just so rich sounding. So same idea, whether you're using a pick or just your fingers, you're just going to find that sweet spot basically right over the metal. So now that we've kind of learned how to play harmonics, let's look at some song examples. All right, so that song is called For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield. And this is a nice, easy, basically two-note harmonic part that you can try no matter what level of guitar player you are. So what we're going to do is it starts with an E harmonic here on the high E string, 12th fret. And then it goes to a B note on the 7th fret of the same string. Okay? All right, little Metallica. So here we go. This one is also very easy, and it's all on the 12th fret. So what we're doing is we're playing the low E on the 12th fret, and then we're going high E and then B. Okay, and again, just work on getting that proper positioning right over the fret and just light touch there. And the last one they do, so they do that a bunch. And then on the last one, they go like this. And they add the third string at the very end of that, and then they go into the etc. This one starts with kind of this swell of a piano, but then you hear this harmonic with 3 different strings being played. So that's the third string through the first string, all played together there. And it does like a little fill. And then it does the low E, and then... So that one's really cool, and that one's on acoustic. All right, so now we're getting into some heavier guitar tones with harmonics. Little Barracuda from Heart. So what's cool about this song is it not only plays harmonics in it, and it also uses distortion, but it uses the whammy bar to bend those harmonic notes, kind of to drop them down in pitch and give a little bit of rhythm and flair to it. So that's really cool. All right, this is one of my favorite songs from the 90s. This particular song used to be in a Sony commercial for what they called the Discman, back when they were first putting CDs into portable players that you could wear headphones with. My, how times have changed. But this song uses harmonics that are outside of the sweet spots just a little bit. So it's on the 5th fret, but it's also on the 4th fret, like this. Okay, so that one's a little bit trickier, but the distortion helps us to be able to get some of those kind of extra harmonics that aren't in the sweet spots as much. Panama. So this one also uses some kind of more challenging harmonics to get. So it starts with this open E string, and then the 4th fret on the 2nd string, 4th fret on the 3rd string, and it kind of starts with the open notes like that, kind of a little bit palm muted, but then he plays what would be the harmonic equivalent of those notes. So that's the 5th fret on the 1st string, and then the 4th fret on the 2nd string and 3rd strings. And at the end, he just kind of beats on the 2nd and 3rd string a little bit. So those ones are a little bit trickier, so that'll take a little bit of work. Remember, try to stay close to the metal. Find that sweet spot. Okay? Let me know if you've got any questions about this in the comments, or if there's a song with harmonics that you'd like to learn. I threw tons of examples. If you go to the description and you look at there's a link to an article that I put together as well that just basically gives you a ton of songs with harmonics. And there are songs for bass as well. You can do all this stuff on bass. So give it a shot and let me know how it works out for you.